Good morning. This is Angela with today's Cup of Tea. Happy New Year. This is the first webcast of 2012. And regardless of what year it is and how much, credence everybody's giving anything about the 2012 thing and whatnot, what's really important is how things are changing on the path we've been on. I mean, we've already been on this path for the last several years at the very least. It's been very active and accelerating on how we're changing and how the world's changing and how our perception of reality is changing and our path and how to reach that highest and best path. And all these things have changed in our expectations. And so what we are experiencing now that's very important is letting go and throwing away the boxes. And people always ask me, a lot of people sort of miss that metaphor. They say, well, what do you mean by throwing away the boxes? We have boxes of expectations. That's what we call our comfort zone. And the comfort zone, the term comfort zone, truly is egoic. It's from the ego. Where the ego, and I've talked about this many times, is more like this pawn on the playing board who only sees what's in front of it, what's behind it, what's around it, and what other players around it are doing. So therefore it makes all its decisions based on that. Well, if that's what it knows, that's what it's comfortable making decisions in. If we are disconnected from our higher self, then we are not making our decisions based on the bigger picture in many respects. So if we get into the habit, which we have, this has really been our ego's existence here on the 3D earth plane kind of thing, but if we allow the ego to simply run the show, which is what we've been talking about in many respects, then that's where the term comfort zone comes in, because then you run from what the ego finds comfortable. So do you see how that feels disconnected from the higher self? If the ego is comfortable and trusts that the higher self, the creator, that our guides are going to steer us for what is our highest and best, then wouldn't that be much more of a wider comfort zone, and that we can release our boxes and say, okay, we have to do this way. We have to take this step on the game board to get here. Why don't we just cut through? Why don't we just cut through? One time I had this meditation where Krishna came to me, which is funny because I had never before had any real tie to Krishna. And I was in this beautiful, beautiful city, and it was really multicolored and bright and spectacular, and there's like zillions of people and all of these things everywhere. And it was so busy. And I was standing on this platform or at a balcony, and I was looking out, and I was trying to get to something. I wanted to get to something that was like sort of off in the distance, and I was puzzling about it. And all of a sudden I sensed this presence next to me, and it was the blue Krishna. And in essence, what he said to me was, we make the rules, we can change them. There's nothing that says you have to find a path to get there. You can just cut the way through. If you want to go straight in, you go ahead and do it. It was in very puzzling kind of riddle kind of words, but that's essentially what he meant. And I realized, you're right, I can do that. And then I just sort of cut a road straight through to where I was going, and everything sort of parted, and that was that. It was just so simple. So we have created these expectations. Our comfort zones are, I have to do things in a difficult way. I have to do things, very in a complex manner. I have to be this kind of person. I have to have this kind of job. I have to have this kind of home and relationship. I have to be in a relationship. I have to have children. I have to do this. Wow, there's a lot of have-tos that we run as automatic programs in us. So as we are coming into the new year, what do we do every year? Is, many people set New Year's resolutions, and that's a way of pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone, pushing ourselves out of where we are into some place where we aspire to be. Well, that's great, because that's a great first step. What we are ready to experience, though, is to release that comfort zone altogether, or to just expand it all so that it's all our comfort zone, so that we're comfortable trusting our higher self, that we're comfortable trusting Creator, that we're comfortable trusting our guides, and that we're comfortable, that we are just playing the game and having a great time at it, that we're comfortable doing that in a fun and joyous and graceful and easy way. This is a hard thing for many people to accept, and it's really funny because I was sort of perplexed when this topic came in, and I was like, yeah, okay. It took a couple minutes for it to process and click through and stuff. So I had this meditation a couple of weeks ago, and I was told with no uncertain terms that we are at the point of being ready to release what we consider normal. And I sort of thought that was funny, because I was like, well, boy, I sort of changed that in my mind years ago, like several years back, when all this stuff started happening with me. But more and more in our world around us right now, things are changing so rapidly. What was normal 5 or 10 years ago is totally a different picture today. And my understanding is that it's going to continue changing at a even more rapid speed. So again, what does that mean? That means that we're ready to let go of the reins and just sort of flow along with the current and say, okay, I am in for the ride, I'm in for the fun, I'm going to let go of the reins and trust and know that it's all for my highest and best. And the first steps are really, that's what these New Year's resolutions are about. I choose to, now some people get very, very detailed with that. I choose to basically set them up now as this. I intend on being 100% present in the now at all times. I intend on, in being present, giving my 100% to every moment, to being my highest and best. And to reach, to reach my personal legend, to take the highest and best path with grace and ease and balance and harmony and joy and fun and excitement, adventure and humor and love. Take that path to the personal legend, to my highest and best, to what it is I came here to do. And then I'm ready to let go of the reins and say, okay, higher self, you're in control. Let's go. Let's do it. Because that is truly letting go of the reins, letting go. And the only limitation, like I was talking about last week, the only limitation that I put on with that is that it's without the trauma, drama, and illness, without any negativity whatsoever, that we move forward and it's all with grace and ease and fun and love and adventure and excitement. That's the way I choose it. So our first steps, I'm going to back up, is what is it you can do that's going to take you into a different place? It's going to take you out of the box of your comfort zone, out of the way you're doing things now, out of the way things are in your life that you truly are unhappy with, but you stay with because it's comfortable, it's familiar. And learn how to embrace the new and unfamiliar as good, as a positive thing. So that's really what our clearing is about today. So for the clearing today, we are going to have Creator give us truth and understanding on the comfort zone, on the term comfort zone, and on the term normal. What is the perspective versus the truth? And to release and dissolve, clear, and release any and all agreements, etheric binding agreements, that include having to be normal, having to be in a comfort zone, having to be in a box, having to be normal. And we're going to thank all who are involved with those agreements. We're going to open the doors to apology and forgiveness in all directions. We're going to pull all beliefs that have come from those agreements, those self-limiting beliefs that have come from those agreements, and we're going to bring forward any unlearned lessons to finally learn and just download via instantaneous and comprehensive download. And all of this is without trauma, drama, and illness, without creating or recreating a situation for illustration or experience, and with ease and grace and balance, harmony, and joy. So bring forward any lessons via instantaneous download and fully conscious understanding of what those lessons were to be, so it's all completed. You don't have to repeat it anymore. And then we're going to pull any and all beliefs related to, I have to be normal. I'm only safe in my comfort zone, my ego's comfort zone. I only like what is comfortable. I can only thrive in what is expected. I can only thrive in what I am already familiar with. Anything that's related to that, and I'm sort of feeling like that's pretty much going to cover a lot of things. So we're going to pull that out, and then we're going to pull out any and all self-limiting thoughts, words, and actions related to that. Those beliefs. Transform to Creator's light, send back to Creator. Close those receptors absolutely permanently, open new ones, and just saturate those cells with Creator's unconditional love and the highest vibration, and download the beliefs. I am safe and comfortable all the time. I enjoy doing new things. Doing something that I haven't done before is fun and exciting, and I enjoy it. And all the feelings related to that, I know how to do all that. I am worthy, deserving, and able to. It is okay, possible, allowed, safe to. And I'm really ready, willing, and able to, and I have it in my life right now, and I know how to access that right now. Write it off as a complete experience in the Akashic Records. Resolve, heal, clear the timelines in all directions to infinity with the platinum violet flames, and then offer to all sent ancestors and descendants if they so choose to accept. So, for all that, we're just going to take a deep breath and say yes, comfort zone, to accept. And that's it. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later in the week. Happy New Year. This is Angela with Today is a Cup of Tea.